Hi everyone, this is the sewing tutorial for Peony thong. For this project you will need stretch mesh or any stretchy fabric, stretch lace, picket elastic, matching thread and cotton jersey for the gusset. Cut all the pieces from the mesh, cut the wing pieces from the lace and cut the gusset from cotton jersey. Transfer all the notches onto the front and back pieces as well as onto the wing pieces. Assemble the main part of the panties as shown in the video. I also have separate tutorial showing how to sew the gusset. The wing pieces need to be gathered to match the length of the line marked on the pattern. To do this, I sew a straight stitch along the edge of each wing piece without backstitching at the beginning or the end. Then I transfer the mark from the pattern with pins onto the wing pieces so they are easier to see, all three marks. You can also see the matching marks along the line on the pattern itself. I gather the fabric and make sure that the gathers are distributed evenly. I also check that the marks line up correctly with the marks on the pattern line. Once the gathering is finished, I slightly press the gathers with an iron to help set them in place. Next, place the wing pieces right sides together with the panties. 2 notches shoulder line with the front piece and 1 notch with the back piece. Pin the wing pieces in place so that the notch on the wing match the edge of the fabric and the edges of the wings align with the notches on the front and back pieces. You can secure everything temporarily with a hand basting stitch or zigzag stitch. Then I measure the elastic for the leg openings. To do this, take the leg opening measurement from the pattern guide and multiply it by the stretch coefficient of your elastic. I also add 4 cm seam allowance to make it easier to attach the elastic. You can see how I do this in my other tutorials. Cut 2 pieces of the elastic. I attach the elastic all around the leg opening, which also secures the wing pieces together with the front and back pieces, and I left 2 cm on each side when I pin the elastic to the leg opening. I also have a separate tutorial showing how I sew the elastic. For the waist elastic, I also multiply the waist measurement from the pattern guide by the stretch coefficient of my elastic, add 1 cm seam allowance, and sew the elastic into a loop with the narrow zigzag stitch. I find the center of the elastic, then measure outward from the center according to the length given in the pattern guide. This measurement also needs to be multiplied by the stretch coefficient of your elastic. I mark this distance on both sides of the back center. Match the beginning of the elastic with the center front, the middle of the elastic with the center back, and the marks on the elastic with the triple notch on the wing piece. I try to keep the seam where I join the elastic into a loop slightly to the side so it doesn't sit on the front or back piece. Using the same method as for the leg openings, I sew the waist elastic on the panties. Remove the temporary stitches from the wings. Fold the elastic to the wrong side, stitch it with a zigzag stitch, and your panties are ready.